All right, good morning, guys. This is Mr. Bell here in Spanish 2 class. And in this Zoom meeting today, we are going to just go over the reflexive verb. This is probably the hardest part of this chapter. It's the grammar part. And so I know that some of you guys have had a lot of questions, a lot of feedback on the last quiz on the reflexive verb, both because of the explanation that I needed to give you guys on the reflexive verb, but also the second part on page 50 about the stem changing reflexive verb, where the E becomes the IE, the O becomes the UE, and one more that I'm going to throw in kind of as a curveball to you guys, the simple E that becomes the I. I'm only going to give you one example on that. But if you need to consult with your textbook, the explanation and instruction on the reflexive verb is on page 46. They give you several examples. That's with the regular reflexive verb. Then a couple of pages later on page 50, you have the stem changing reflexive verbs. And I believe you guys have 6 examples of those. And then towards the end of the chapter, on the page right before your vocabulary rainbow page, which is page 65, on page 64, they also give you just a brief summary of the whole kit and caboodle. So right now, I just want to explain just the steps on going through the reflexive verb. First of all, a reflexive verb is the verb where not only are you performing the action, but you're receiving the action. Just like the name implies, when you look at your reflection in a mirror, who are you looking at? You're looking at yourself. So with the reflexive verb in English, this is where I wash my hands, you put on your shoes, he dresses himself, she combs her hair, they brush their teeth, etc., etc., etc. And so I want to give you guys a bunch of examples on how to do this, how to conjugate it. It really is simple. What confuses a lot of people is that the infinitive includes 2 letters at the end of the verb, which are the letters SE. So the verb lavar, to wash, becomes lavarse. And that se at the end of lavarse, that becomes our reflexive pronouns. If you will look on the screen, I believe if it's on the left of my screen where you see I actually wrote a little conjugation chart that says regular reflexive verbs. You notice that I have highlighted in yellow the 5 forms of the reflexive pronoun that the se of lavarse or despertarse or whatever, the se at the end of the reflexive verb, it becomes one of these 5 forms. And I told you guys, those of you who were in class on the last day of school on the 13th, I said the best way to learn these is to memorize the little chant. And the chant is me te se no se. Me te se no se. If you look at this sheet right here where my, whoops, there goes my camera, and we were doing so well. But there you go. If you see on the reflexive verb there, me te se no se, what is highlighted there in yellow. Okay, so the me te se no se. So I'm going to go ahead and pantomime these for you all while you're looking at me. So I'm going to go ahead and go over the subject pronouns with you guys. And if you guys want to follow along and do it, that's fine. If not, that's cool also, okay? Ready? Yo me. Whatever I'm doing it to myself. Tu te. Whatever you're doing it to and for yourself. El se. I'm pointing at a guy over there. Whatever he's doing it for himself. Or ella, if it's a lady. Nosotros. There's the cowboy lasso. It's including all of us. Nosotros nos. Whatever we're doing it for ourselves. And then ellos se, they're doing it for themselves or ustedes say, y'all are doing that for yourself. Whatever you're doing it to and for yourself. So, um, so the first thing you need to do on the reflexive verb is simply get rid of the se. Get rid of the se. When you do that, you'll notice that what you have left is just a regular verb. Now, the first verb I have on this example is the verb estirar. What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? Most of us, it's what? It's stretch. We stretch. I stretch my arms, I stretch my shoulders. You probably do the same thing. So let's just go through the verb estirarse and let's just take it down the same steps we do on conjugating any verb. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to this, and I hope you guys can still hear me. I'm just moving over here. Can everybody hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up. Chandler, good? All right, so here we have the verb estirar. First thing I'm going to do is underline estirarse, and I'm going to draw an arrow from estirarse over here to my reflexive pronouns. You see the me, and we've got the te, and we've got the se, no se, all the way down here. So that's what we did with the estirarse, the se of estirarse. We got rid of that, pulled it out. And so now we have the verb estirar. Estirar, to stretch. All I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to conjugate these like any regular verb. So I'm going to write yo me estiro. I stretch myself. Since it's an AR verb, tu te estiras. You guys see that? Él se estira. He stretches himself. Nosotros nos estiramos. Since that's a nosotros, the amos form. And then ellos se estiran. All right? Can you guys see how I did that? All right, so yo me estiro, I stretch myself. Tú te estiras, you stretch yourself, you stretch your shoulders, you stretch your leg, you stretch your back. Él se estira, he stretches his arm, he stretches his calves, whatever he's stretching it for himself. Okay, so that's one example. Let's keep going. Let's go with the next example, which is the verb lavarse. I got lavarse and mirarse. Same thing. We get rid of the se on the end. That becomes our 5 reflexive pronouns. And then since lavar is an AR verb, I can go ahead and write L-A-V, 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 L-A-V. There's my stem. L-A-V, all the way across. So what I do, guys, I just plug in my 5 endings. Chandler, what are my 5 endings? I got you guys muted. I don't know if you can unmute yourself, but you guys know they're o, as, a, amos, on. Correct? Give me a thumbs up. So we got o, as, a, amos, on. Yo me lavo la cara. I wash my face. Tú te lavas las manos. You wash your hands. Él se lava el pelo. He or she washes his or her hair. Nosotros nos lavamos la ropa. We wash our clothes. Okay, so whatever we're doing it for ourselves. Now, look at the verb mirar. I'm going to give you one more AR example, and then we're going to run over to the only ER example we have. Once again, mirarse, the SE becomes our 5 reflexive pronouns, the me, te, se, no, se. And then I can write M-I-R, 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 M-I-R. There are all 5 of my stems. And miro, miras, mira, miramos, miran. Capiche? Simple, isn't it, guys? That's the easy part. Now, let's look at our 1ER example. The 1ER example we had was the verb ponerse. Remember, poner means to put something down. But when it comes to clothes, ponerse is to put on your clothes, put on your shoes, put on your jacket, put on your sweater, whatever. And ponerse, remember, we learned recently, is one of our go verbs. So it's not pono, it's pongo. So we're going to get rid of the SE. We got the SE. We have poner. We have pon, 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 and pon. We put our stem down. The only difference is on the yo form. It's not just an O, it's a G-O. Yo me pongo. I put on. Yo me pongo los zapatos. I put on my shoes or the shoes. Yo me pongo la camisa. I put on the shirt, okay? My shirt. And then, since it's an ER verb, it's going to be S, E, hemos, N. Okay, can you guys see that? All right, so these are examples of our regular verbs. Let me move this over also. As you can see here, I'm just going to scroll over. Our other verbs that we have would be levantarse. All the rest of these are all AR verbs. Levantarse, which means to get up, to get out of bed or get out of that chair. Yo me levanto. I get myself up. Exactly. Thank you, Chandler. And then quedarse is to stay. Yo me quedo en la cama. I stay in bed. I wish I could, but I can't. Quedarse. Cepillarse, to brush or to brush your hair, brush your teeth. Yo me cepillo los dientes. I brush my teeth. Peinarse is to comb. Ella se peina el pelo. She combs her hair. Okay? And then quitarse, quitarse, which is the opposite of ponerse. Ponerse is to put on. Quitarse is to take off. Yo me quito los espejuelos. What did I just take off? I took off my glasses, okay? Yo me pongo los espejuelos. Why? Because I'm blind as a bat. I can't see without them. All right? And then the last one that you guys learned on your introductions was llamarse. All right? Yo me llamo Phil. My name is Phil, or I call myself Phil. Tú te llamas Alexis, Chandler, Natalie, y Thomas. You guys call yourselves, or your name is whatever your name is, okay? So, this is enough. It's in reverse for you guys here this way, but there's our regular reflexive verbs, and we are done with that. Now, let me go and give you 3 examples of the stem changing verb. The regular verbs, we found the explanation on what? Page 46. Page 46. On the stem changing verbs, we find it on page 50. Okay? Page 50. So let's go back to this one here. Stem changing verbs. Can everybody see that first one okay? All right, stem changing reflexive verbs. First of all, the most common one is where we change the E to an IE. So we're going to go ahead, and here is the SE, and that becomes the what? The SE becomes the se, te, I'm sorry, me, te, se, no, se. Me, te, se, no, se. That's our 5 reflexive pronouns. So now we have sentar. Sentar, which of course means to sit down. All right. Here the E becomes the IE. So Yo me Yo me siento. I seat myself down. I sit myself down in a chair. Tú te sientas. You seat yourself down in a chair. Él se sienta. He sits himself down in a chair. And then we're going to skip this one and we're going to go to the last one. Ellos se sientan. They seat themselves down in a chair. Okay? Why did we skip the nosotros form? Because the nosotros form on our stem changing verbs is the only one of the 5 forms that does not change. Does it change, Alexis? No. Does it change, Natalie, Thomas, and Chandler? No, it doesn't. So we don't add the I. Nosotros nos sentamos. We sit ourselves down. Now, what's the good news about all this? Take a look at your endings. They're just regular endings. The O, os, a, amos, an. Okay? So that's sentar. We change the E to an IE. Yo me siento, tú te sientas, él se sienta, nosotros nos sentamos, and then ellos or ustedes se sientan. So that's one example of E to the IE. We do the same thing with despertarse. We add the E in front of the second E. Yo me despierto. And we also do the same thing with divertirse. We add the I in front of the E. Yo me divierto. Okay? Now, let's go to the second form. The second one that we're changing is the O to the UE, and we have 2 of these. We have the word acostarse, which means to what? To lay down. Acostarse is to lay down. Or dormirse, which is to go to sleep. Dormir. If you're dormant, you're sleeping. Okay? So let's go ahead and use the example of acostarse. The O to the UE. Once again, our SE, that becomes our 5 reflexive pronouns. And then the O here becomes a UE. Yo me acuesto. I lay myself down. Tú te acuestas. You lay yourself down. It could be on your bed. It could be on a couch. It could be on the floor or on the grass or on a blanket on the grass for a picnic, whatever. Él se acuesta. He or she lays himself or herself down. And then we're going to skip the nosotros form. Ellos se acuestan. They lay themselves down, or ustedes se acuestan. Y'all lay yourselves down. Okay? What do we do with the nosotros form? What do we do with the O? We keep it. Nosotros nos acostamos. We lay ourselves down. Okay? Once again, just like the E to the IE, the O to the UE, we also, once again, we just retain the original form on the nosotros form. Okay? We're almost done, guys. I got one more example of a stem changer. This is top secret. It's not in your book. They didn't give it to you. I'm giving it to you. Why? You know why. Don't gotta tell you, right? By the way, I do miss you guys so much. All right. Vestirse. Vestirse is to dress yourself. If you did not know that, since this is an extra word, go ahead and write it down somewhere in your notebook, okay? Or write it down on a worksheet or whatever. Vestirse is to dress yourself. A vestido for a girl is a dress. A vestido for a guy is a suit, okay, like a suit of clothes. Okay, so here we're just taking the E and making it an I. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. We see the SE, that becomes our five pronouns. And then me, yo me visto. Tú te vistes. You dress yourself. Él se viste. He or she dresses himself or herself. Ellos se visten. They dress themselves. And then what do we do on the nosotros form? We retain our original E. Nosotros nos vestimos. We dress ourselves. Okay? So that is how we do our conjugation on our reflexive verbs. And I want to remind you guys one more thing, one big difference between English and Spanish on the reflexive verbs. In English, we continue to use our possessive adjectives. I put on my shirt. I take off my glasses. I comb my hair. You brush your teeth. In Spanish, we typically do not add the possessive adjectives because with the reflexive verbs, it's understood. Whoever is doing the action is receiving the action. So when I say I take off my glasses, yo me quito los espejuelos. I take off the glasses. Which glasses am I taking off? If I'm using a reflexive verb, it's understood that I'm taking off my own. Yo me pongo la camisa. I put on the shirt. Which shirt am I putting on? My own. Okay, with the reflexive. So, tú te lavas las manos. You wash the hands. Whose hands are you washing? Your own. Okay, so you're washing your hands. You say, but Mr. Bell, what if I'm with my baby brother and I'm washing his hands? Well, then no, you're no longer using a reflexive verb. You won't say, tú te lavas las manos de tu hermano. You wash yourself the hands of your brother. You don't say that. We would say, tú lavas las manos de tu hermanito. You wash the hands of your little brother. What there, it's not a reflexive verb, okay? So let me go ahead, guys. Go ahead and put your microphone back on. Let me take the last minute or so. Does anybody have a question on the reflexive verbs? Chandler, are you good with the reflexive verbs?
Yes.
Good. Excellent. Alexis, are you good?
Yeah.
All right. Fantastic. Well, did anybody have any difficulty with this part? Any of your assignments?
Are we going to turn in the rest of the sheet?
Yeah. You're going to turn in the rest of the sheet by Monday.
All right.
Anytime you turn it in, do what you guys have been doing. And as soon as you get done with your stuff here, just snap a picture of it on your smartphone, whatever, and upload it and either send it back to me. Most of you guys have been doing it through Google Classroom or Remind, or a couple of people are just sending it to me by email. And a couple of folks, just text it to me as a text message. Everybody should have my phone number. If you do not have my phone number, let me make sure once again that everybody's got it. It's 423-774-3280. So if you don't have my cell phone, you can last resort text message me and send me the photos of all your work, and I will take a look at my phone and I'll plug your grades in the computer, okay? All right, guys. Well, that's it. If any of you have any questions, please feel free to call me, text me, send me an email. I'm going to be here in the school today. Most of the teachers are not coming in on Fridays, but I'm going to be here. I'm going to see if I've got one student may have come in to do some work in the media center. If that's the case, I'll do some work with them today. Otherwise, um, you know, regular hours, guys, anytime before 5 o'clock is fair game. And in the case of an emergency, you can always text message me or send me a remind message or whatever anytime, and I'll get back with you as soon as I can. But otherwise, guys, just take care of yourselves, be safe, love on your family members, help mom and dad out. I know if they're working and you're having to help out with a younger brother and sister, you may right now think it's kind of a pain in the neck, but believe me, you are very much appreciated. Love you guys, respect you guys, miss you guys, and can't wait to see you guys again, hopefully before too much longer. But otherwise, just be safe and healthy, and we'll be in touch with you guys later on. Okay? All righty, guys. Well, I guess that's it. So let's go ahead and end this meeting. Sayonara. Nos veremos. Hasta pronto.